Hey, sports fans, PB&Z Sports Chaos. We're back at you. Thanksgiving weekend. We were here Wednesday. We gave you some pre-Thanksgiving previews. We're going to talk about some more football this week. We got some good college rivalry games today, and we got some good NFL games on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday this week because the Steelers-Ravens game got moved again. Hey, before we get into that, quick little 2-minute drill, PB. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, we had a little golf match play with some celebrities. Peyton Manning, Steph Curry matched up against Phil Mickelson, but Charles Barkley, who's a horrible golfer. Who do you think would win that match?
You would think Steph Curry and
Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
I would too. But apparently they won the first two holes. After that, they only hit one other hole. Charles and Phil won. I can only imagine Mickelson must have been on his A game carrying Barkley around the place because Barkley is absolutely horrible as a golfer. Speaking of old guys doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, big fight this weekend. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, excuse me. Tyson's 54. I think Roy Jones is 51 or 52. I don't know. My wife happens to think Mike Tyson will literally kill Roy Jones. I don't know about that. I think Roy can still jab and stick. We'll see. Who would you pick if you're picking in that?
Gotta go with Tyson. He's an animal.
He is an animal. He's been looking good. By the way, they showed him on Thanksgiving. Apparently, he had a chocolate-headed cake of Roy Jones. He bit the ear off. Go figure. All right. College football, we're going to do some picks, but I got to talk about the history could be in the making today, PB. The first female kicker in the Power 5 football conferences, Sara Fuller, the goalie for Vanderbilt in soccer. They won the NCAA championships just last week. She's going to be the backup kicker today because they get so much COVID problems at Vandy. I hope she gets in as a girl dad. You're a girl dad as well. I'm wicked excited to see this happen. I hope they bring her in the game. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, just to see her on the sideline in uniform will be kind of cool, you know?
Oh, man, yeah. All right, let's talk about college football. Hey, Trevor Lawrence is back this week. He's over his COVID virus, so we'll see what happens. We got some big rivalry games. We're going to talk our picks momentarily. By the way, last week there were some good games. Number 10, Wisconsin lost to Northwestern. By the way, somebody covered that game. And then yesterday, what do we have? Iowa State beats the Longhorns. That's an upset. UNC, Notre Dame. Notre Dame did win as we predicted, but it was a good game for 3 quarters. And then the last game last night, Oregon State and Oregon in the Civil War. That game was up and down all night long. Oregon State had the ball first and goal less than a minute. They went 3 quarterback sneak, stuffed in all 3. The third one, the starter gets hurt. They bring in the backup, never took a snap before. Guess what? He wins the game, and Z covers.
Yeah. Not to mention, Stanford held their own. They won by a point. They were getting a point and a half, and they won outright by a point. And Z, you went 4-0 again yesterday, coming off a last week going 4-0. I did go 3-1, very respectable 3-1 this week.
You did, yeah.
On state, but still, Z, 8-0 in your last 8 picks for college. You know that if you started with $100 and just let it ride the whole way through, you'd have $25,600 right now.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you.
G Money, I hope you're listening, buddy. Stop listening to your head. Listen to Z and PB. Jeez.
Yeah, and if you let it ride on this 4-0, this week, right now, you could be pushing almost $250,000 if you kept letting it ride on these 4 games you're about to pick today.
$250,000. Stop. I'm getting a little bit giddy. All right. Let's pick some games. One of the rivalry games we're not going to pick, but this is an interesting one. It's a DYK for you, PB. Ole Miss plays Mississippi State. Do you know what they call that game?
I don't know.
The Egg Bowl.
Egg Bowl. All right.
I don't know where it started, but they call it the Egg Bowl. Who knows? It's a big deal, though. All right. Let's get into our picks. Louisville comes up here to Boston College. Louisville had an up and down year. They did have an upset. I forget. I think it might have been North Carolina. BC's favorite by 1. Who do you like?
BC.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. If BC just plays their game, runs the ball like they can, Jervik does his job, they should win that game handily. All right. This one I think is a little bit of a tricky game. Maryland goes to Indiana. Indiana had that big game last week. By the way, I did pick that one to cover. They gave Ohio State a hard time. But do they have a hangover? What do you think?
They could, but Maryland has won a couple good games this year. IU's just playing really good, and to hang in there with Ohio State the way they did, I'm going to lay the 12 and take Indiana in this game.
I'm with you. I was hesitant, but I got to think the hangover that Maryland has from being out for 4 weeks now with COVID, it's going to hurt them a little bit. All right. Here's the loser bowl. You ready for this? We got Penn State going to Michigan. Who would have expected these teams would be 1-9 at this point in time of the year? Michigan's favored by 1 in this game. I don't even know where that comes from, but who do you like?
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty even matchup, believe it or not. Penn State's winless. They haven't won a game yet on the year. They're 0-5, I think. Michigan, they've won a couple, but they're home. It's only a point. I really want to take Michigan in this game. I'm not going to be surprised if Penn State wins. I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm going to take Michigan. I'm going to stick with Michigan and take Michigan.
You keep riding the Michigan wave. I can't believe it. I don't see James Franklin going 0-6. I get Penn State. They cover this game.
All right,
and they win. All right,
I'm going to regret my Michigan pick. I'm already saying I'm going to regret it, but hey, we'll see.
The Iron Bowl has Auburn going to Alabama, a 24.5-point favorite. Nick Saban, as we talked about on Wednesday, is out for this game with COVID, right?
Yeah.
Little DYK, Gus Malzahn, the coach of Auburn, he's 3-4 in his career against Alabama. Now you say, okay, but that's a losing record. Listen to this. During that same time span, Alabama is 58-3 versus the rest of the SEC.
Yeah, wow.
What do you think?
Wow. See, this is tough, too. That 24.5 is tough because, they could be winning by 31 down the end, and then Auburn just gets a touchdown to end the game, and it knocks it back down to 24. I could very easily see that happen. It's going to come down to how many points can Auburn score because Alabama's going to score. They're in the low, mid-40s, even high 50s potentially. The question is, can Auburn get up into the, high 20s? That's the question. And I could see Alabama completely shutting them down as well. So a little bit of a risky pick here, but I'm going to lay – I wish it was just 23.5 instead of 24.5. That 1 point's going to maybe make the difference here. But I'm going to lay the 20 – not let the numbers scare me. I'm going to lay the 24.5 with Bama.
Wow, you are, huh? I'm taking Auburn. I don't see them losing by 5 scores, which is essentially what it would be, 5 scores.
Well, 4. 4 touchdowns is 28, right?
Or 3 touchdowns and a field goal, right? So they need a 5th score at that point in time. So.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, we'll see. We got 2 different here. So Z's going to either go 4-0 again, or PB's going to get back on track. We'll see.
All right, man. Hey, little DYK, we'll answer this in a few minutes. I'll give you some time to think about it as I just give you a couple points from last week on the NFL. 2 starting quarterbacks in the NFL this week are undefeated. Can you name both of them? I'll give you a minute. Think about it. We'll talk about it in a moment.
All right.
By the way, COVID wreaking havoc in the NFL. We already talked about that Pittsburgh-Baltimore game is moved again. It started on a Thursday, got moved to Sunday. Now going to be on Tuesday night, so we get some Tuesday football this week. Nice. Which also means the Thursday game is canceled because Ravens were supposed to play Cowboys. That game is now next Monday, so we get a Monday doubleheader. Nice, again. NFL, thank you for treating us well. So we'll see what happens here. NFL, though, has told all teams after this weekend's games, you're shutting down for 2 days. They can't go to the facilities on Monday or Tuesday. They can't go back to the facilities till Wednesday. We'll see. And by the way, Bruce Arians, is he going to stop back in the truck over Tom Brady? I mean, he came out this week and said Brady couldn't read the coverages. I mean, this is a guy with a losing record as a head coach talking about the greatest of all time with 6 Super Bowl wins, 9 Super Bowl appearances. PB, what the heck?
Yeah, Arians is he's not going to last in Tampa Bay. And for him to come out and diss Brady like that, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, our games yesterday, we both picked the Texans. They easily blew out Detroit. Is Matty P fired yet? I haven't checked Twitter yet. Has he been fired this morning yet? And the poor Cowboys, it just keeps raining on them. They lost 2 more offensive linemen in the first 2 drives of the game. They were down to, I think, the 3rd left tackle and the 4th right tackle in the game. They got blown out by the Washington FC. And so 4th and 10, you go for it from your own 25-yard line. What do you think of that?
No, that's just. I mean, they're desperate. They're desperate at this point. They have nothing to lose. I mean, they're going to make moves like that beyond that game as the year progresses because they're a team in disarray and a desperate team right now.
By the way, the guy was open on the play.
But they could still win the division. That's the scary.
Yes. Washington's in first right now until Monday, right? We'll see what happens then. All right, let's get into some picks. Oh, we had a caller, but we'll let him go. All right. We're going to pick this one, the Cards and the Pats. And I know you're saying why. The Cards going to come east. They're playing a 1 o'clock game, so it's like a 10 a.m. game for them. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, this is one of those games, just like when the Patriots played the Ravens in New England a couple of weeks ago, and we both jumped on the Ravens to beat them. Ravens obviously are kind of going in the wrong direction right now. You can make the same case for Arizona. They haven't been playing the greatest football lately. They did have that great comeback win against Buffalo not too long ago.
And they needed one play to get. They needed one play to do it, or else they would have lost.
Right, yeah. And Arizona's the better team here. There's no question about that. But when you factor in all those other things, you could make a case for the Patriots. But here's the thing: Arizona's 6-4. The other two teams in that division ahead of them, the Rams and the Seahawks, are both 7-3. Right? They need this game not only for that to stay in the division, but they also need this game to stay in the wild card hunt.
Right.
So going to 7-4 is a big difference than going 6-5, and those are the reasons why I think the Cardinals in the end are going to pull off this game.
I think there's going to be some upsets this weekend. Hopefully I get them right. This one I got a funny feeling. The Pats have now played 3 mobile quarterbacks in a row, and I think that helps them out a lot. They get that figured out. I think they find a way to contain Kyler, and if you can, they'll win the game. So I think the Pats cover this game. I think they win it, I should say.
All right.
Tennessee goes to the Colts. Both of them had statement wins last week, huge wins. Colts have already beat the Titans once. I know you're not fond of the Titans. What do you think of this?
Yeah, this game's in Indy. They're both 7-3. The winner's going to obviously have the division. And if Indy takes it, they'll really be up on them because they'll have beaten them, right? So, and Indy's defense is just, they're still solid, man. They're the 3rd best defense against the run.
I know, you keep telling me.
And they have the 2nd best defense overall. And where's Tennessee's strength? The Tennessee strength is the run.
Right.
In fact, Tennessee is near the bottom of the league in passing offense. They're near the top of the league in running offense because of Derrick Henry, of course. But at the end of the day, I just see Indy as the better team here. They're more balanced. I think Indy takes the game.
I think so. Phyllis Rivers has been playing better than Ryan and Tannehill lately, so I think you're right on that one. All right. Hey, do you have the answer to the DYK yet before we do our next pick?
I'm going to guess one quarterback is probably whoever's replacing Lamar Jackson for Baltimore. Who's coming in for Lamar?
Nope.
All right. Okay.
Obviously, you must know who the other one is. Undefeated.
I don't know.
You're doing a disservice to the show.
Wait.
They're undefeated.
Tua is two. No,
Big Ben. They're 10-0. Rosberger.
Oh, I thought you meant in their careers.
No. This season.
Oh, you didn't tell me the season. All right.
Oh, I thought that was obvious. All right. Well, guess who's the other one right now? Do you have any idea before we make a pick on this next game?
No.
It's the next game. Chicago goes to Green Bay. Mitchell Trubisky gets the start. Believe it or not, he's 3-0 in the season.
Oh, that's right. He played the first 3 games, and the Bears started off 3-0.
Yes.
Okay, I see where you're going with that, DYK. All right.
Who do you like in this game? It looks pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah, Green Bay at home all the way. I mean, I haven't been a fan of Chicago since that 3-0 start. I've not been knocking Chicago all year long. I'm going to continue to knock them. They're not going anywhere. That's Green Bay's game.
I am as well. All right. Seattle goes to Philly. Ugly game because the Eagles looked ugly after that loss last week. But, as you said earlier, if they win this game, they're in the lead by half a game because they'll be with 4 wins and only 6 losses in a tie. Who do you like here?
Well, they're going to be a half a game behind the lead because they're going to lose this game. Seattle easily takes Philadelphia.
I'm with you. They lost another lineman. Lane Johnson's out. I think they're going to be in the same situation as the Cowboys. They just not be able to block. All right. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. The game goes to Tuesday night. RG3 makes his season debut, his first start. By the way, DYK, he played last year against Pittsburgh in game 15. What do you think? Any shot for Baltimore in this game?
None at all. None at all. This is Pittsburgh's game.
Yeah, I have to agree. They're going to have no running backs potentially still, so you're right. All right. The big one, Kansas City goes to Tampa Bay. Mahomes is 1-2 against Brady in his career, correct?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, Kansas City's just they're a good team, man. I mean, their offense is ridiculous. I mean, you see that game last week and the way they won on that final drive. And Tampa Bay's defense is good, but that doesn't matter. Tampa Bay and Mahomes are gonna crush them. And I'm trying to see Brady gets better as the year goes on. He looked like crap last week. He's had a few rough games here. And Kansas City's defense, they're not a top-tier defense, but they're a good defense. They're an opportunistic defense. They're definitely top half of the league. You can make an argument top 10. I know that was a big deal with our show at the beginning of the year, but they'll hold their own. They'll hold their own and give their offense a chance to win the game, and this is Kansas City's game all the way.
I'm going to say yes and agree with that, but my three takeaways of this is the two Raiders games showed a blueprint, and the Pats game against KC showed a blueprint. If Tampa Bay can do the same thing on defense, and I believe their offense could be much better than what Vegas showed, even though they scored 30 points twice against them, and what the Pats showed, there's a shot there. Now, the question is, does Bruce Arians get in his friggin' way again, or does he let Brady be Brady, let him go to the line of scrimmage with two play calls in his head, and he decides what the play is at the line? Then you might have a different game. I think Kansas City wins the game, but I would not be surprised if we do the show next week and we're talking about TB12 once again, pulls a rabbit out of his you-know-what, right?
Yeah, wow. So we're the same on 5. The only game we have picked different is the Pats-Cardinals game.
Right.
Wow.
I was tempted to pick this one. I was tempted to pick TB, but I said, you know what? You got to pick with your head, not your heart on this one. So.
All right. Nice.
All right, PB. Nice one, man. Let's see if we keep our streak alive here. We're at a winning record every week for our fans, making money. And no, Z is not rolling the money for $250,000. Sorry about that, kids. All right, man. I will talk to you later. Have a good one.
All right. You too, man.